Yeah.
Good morning.
I don't know. Yeah. So the statement made was fuck, where am I? Like that's what we're giggling about because I'm not erasing this and I'm not, this is funny. This is how we work sometimes. And it's interesting how I'm sitting here ready for us and I don't even have my camera. And you were thinking of a recording we had made, but it wasn't the one. So it's interesting, like, where are we? How come we're not, like, are we here but thinking about something else? Are we here and I know I am. I do know that. And it's an emotion.
Mhm.
It's so energy is so profound if you respect the information it's giving you. I said to myself while I was getting ready, the dog is outside. I'm thinking, oh, is he going to come back? Because there's a coyote this coyote that's in our backyard is not even scared of the German Shepherd, who's like 120 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of alarms me because my friend, she thinks he's 120 pounds, but like seriously, he's 22 pounds. And so I'm thinking about that. I'm getting ready. I'm thinking about the store, the space. So where am I in all of those spectrums? Because perhaps there's one emotion that's just pushing me so hard right now. I did have that thought. And then I went on Instagram to look at a specific person who does like a daily reading. And the cards she shared, of course, matched everything that I was just talking about. And the profoundness to that is you are very, very powerful.
Hmm.
If we reference, our last conversation and how it played out in my experience within 48 hours, was that the universe saving me? I do believe so now.
Mm.
Right? And saving, okay, that's large and luminous. It's not like that. The full moon is coming, and I feel like everything is fucking amplified already. Already. Just, this isn't in alignment with me. And sometimes I get lost in that murkiness of wanting to serve, wanting to please, which is terrible of me. Not as a human, it isn't, but when you get lost inside of your own desire to be belonged, liked, accepted, all the heart need problems, right? You
Mhm.
sometimes get lost in it. And that's why I appreciate the energy when I am gently tapped and said, maybe not. Maybe just pause. And maybe just watch the landscape shift around you and see where's the next doorway actually for you. Not the ones that I think I'm preparing to go through. Oh, I like that.
Mm.
Anyway, good morning, Katie. I did hear that.
Mm.
You need a moment, hey?
Well, yeah, I'm just the other day
Oh,
I was getting ready to like go out of the house, had swimming, running a little bit behind, and had tripped on our bedroom blanket. And I literally like fell into the door and opened it even like further. And like I hit my shoulder and it's still sore. And lovely Nick, he's like, just keep
oh.
those doorways open. That's exactly what he said to me.
Ah!
I'm like, I'm making sure it's wide open.
Right?
Yeah.
So did you appreciate that?
So I'm,
The statement,
yeah, at first it
not
was
hitting
kind
the
of
door,
like,
is what I meant.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, really, that's what
Yeah.
You know, if I kind of like look at the last like few months, like that's what I've really been working on is just like, yeah, opening those new doorways.
Oh,
Because I know you always say, you know, sometimes when some close, it's, you know, like there's other opportunities out there and you never know when a door might open somewhere.
ooh, that was good. I needed that. That was perfect.
And when you sometimes least expect it, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
This past few days, I've been blessed with some, like, I don't know anyone. Like, it's different for me to say that. Because you and I were both raised in the same small town.
Okay.
Everybody knew everybody. We
Yeah.
knew when someone new moved to town. Like, by noon, the whole population knew there was someone new in town. And Peace River is, it's not big. And if you're from Peace River and born and raised here, everyone would be familiar to you too. I get that.
Hmm.
But, I know a handful of people, but I don't know anyone in Peace River. And it can be intimidating. I did say that on social media.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, it's absolutely fun to be able to say, "Hi, I'm Coach Rach." I noticed that. That's
Mm.
exactly the constant. Hey, I'm Coach Rach. Shake everyone's hand, take them through the space. This is what's happening. And beyond this doorway, and
Cool.
they're like, "Oh, there's a doorway?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a door right here," I said. And inside of this beautiful space is going to be the grief group room.
Mm.
And so honoring, and this is where I think you and I are at. It's like we're not willing to put ourselves in the box per se that we've come from. And I say that with respect, but I ain't going there anymore. But it's about being curious enough with how it feels to go through the open new doorways, even if we're
Mhm.
crashing through them because,
Yeah.
we really want to go, but there's something clouding us. Right? And I stand at my door, I light my candle, and I stand there like, I look around and I'm like, welcome. Here's a new day, Peace River, let's roll. Because
Mhm.
why? Because we are in our creation, we are creating our life. Every day is an opportunity to step into that further and be curious with who you are while you're doing it, because we're in new territory. Everybody, new landscape, new
Yeah.
territory. So this fuck, where am I? Well, it could be because we feel lost. We could be
Yeah.
feeling a little. I'm not sure who I am right now because I've never
Mhm.
done this before. I have almost 4,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah. When you put that into a number, it's rather daunting. However, and this is how I am, I actually know that people don't intentionally say to me, "You're moving your store around again." Like I don't think they get, this is how my mind is. Like, I set it up, I look around, I smell the air. If I don't like how it
Mm.
smells, shit gets moving. I just am this way. And it
Yeah.
just has to feel
Mhm.
safe, and it feels, like I gotta feel that alignment with all my stuff. And you know me, I have weird stuff. Like, my friend was there the other morning, and I said to her, "Oh, you gotta see this cup I brought in." And she's like, "It's a cup." And I'm like, "Yeah." Well, this one I said is, it's a burning bowl, and it's got
Mhm.
a dragon's eye on it, and it's just like the brightest green
Ooh.
dragons. I love it. I'm like, I would drink out
Cool.
of this too, right? Anyway, and there's also some big teacups, but they remind me of, like, Shrek could drink out of these cups, right? Like, these are big, gaudy, and one of them has big mushrooms coming out of it, and the other one has
Cool.
another guy, right? Like, and so, all these little weird things are sitting there, and I call it my little Harry Potter area. And yeah, so this, where am I? We're right where we need to be, and we just have to remind ourselves that when it gets a little shaky, we have a bus, remember?
Mhm.
And sometimes we have to reach out to the bus. like your bus that you're sitting in right now. um, and know that even though it feels like we're alone, we're not. We have a team, a hierarchy. No, erase
Yeah.
that. I'm not deleting that, but I do not like that word. It's not hierarchy because every one of us are the same, even though we have different levels of awareness.
Hmm.
It's who are the ones that you can trust with you're tripping into the bed,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so, oh yeah, Michael Lennox is saying it perfectly right now. He is, because I quickly scanned him this morning before I hopped into here. It's a roller coaster day, and you know how he talks.
Mm. Yeah.
It's about leaning into challenge. Well, let's lean into curiosity because it's a challenge on how you look at it. What's your perspective, right?
Hmm.
Sure. 4,000 square feet. How are you going to pay that? How are you going to foot that bill? How are you going to create enough exchange in your small business, Rachie, to make this happen? I hope my landlord isn't listening. I believe in me. I do.
Yeah.
1,000%. Even though there are days I might cry. Because there is.
Yeah.
You have to have a release. Because
Hmm.
it's pent up, you know. Sometimes the emotions that are floating to the surface because of, you know, where planets are and where
Hmm.
you're at in your own level of awareness,
Yeah.
it has to come out. Or it's going to show up as, you know, toothaches, pains in our bellies. My left
Hmm.
fucking hip's on fire. I'm like, you can't be. You can't be cortisol, but you might be. You might be. Um,
Yeah.
and just, yeah, learning to like the version of you who's here.
Hmm.
Because I like her, so I just think I'm attracting women into my space who, you know, are like, who are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm Coach Rach. This is what I do. This is what I provide. And then, you know, to pay the rent, this is my line. I sell products.
Hmm.
And I do know that those tools, another beautiful lady said to me, but you come across so confident. I said, oh, you know, confidence is what it is. It's fleeting. It's in every moment, or it's not,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? I'm not going to
Yeah.
show the world my fear because then I'll attract more fear. Nope. Nope.
Hmm.
You
That's
got,
a good way to
I'm
put
just
that.
so, what's that, love?
That's a good way to put that.
It is, hey?
Yeah. I was like, hmm.
Okay, so you're about to embark upon a big road trip,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right? That
We're
will
like,
be
we're doing the how many sleeps until we leave? It's on.
how many sleeps?
We didn't do it yet this morning, but
Oh.
I think we're down to like 18 sleeps,
Oh, and it's
something
6:18
like that.
a.m. Boom! I love
Nice.
you. I
Yeah.
was FaceTiming my granddaughter the other evening,
Hmm.
and there's two massive white orbs in the picture. Because, you know, we're FaceTiming, and I'm just like, you know,
Beautiful.
snapping little photos, and I'm just like,
Uh-uh.
those are the moments that make me believe that there is that powerful experience around us, supporting us, guiding us, loving us at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Kind of mentioning about the kind of like that lost feeling, connecting with how, coming from a small town, everybody knew everybody. And that's definitely what I have been, because I moved, live in a big city, don't know anybody. That's kind of what is nice. It's just like when you meet somebody, they don't already have this like expectation of who you are or have heard some story about you. It's just like I actually get to show up as a version as I am now.
Mm.
And I just get to like, this is me. And, there's been moments where it's, you talk about the confidence thing and it's like there's been moments where it's been shaky and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, did I say something silly when I was talking to them? And I'm like, no,
Right.
you're just being you.
Yeah.
Like, it just like it happens and I'm only human and yeah, I'm just trying to be. I think we had chatted about it in, I think it was maybe in a personal session or one YouTube talking about like it's just kind of like who do you need to be for you now? And it's just trying to show up as like this is who I am.
And
So
not
then it's
self in the same box we came out of, per se,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So do you like her? Are you curious about
yeah,
her? Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Who knew I'd have this table 8 feet long,
Mhm.
4 feet wide, covered in herbs right now, and jars, and candles, and incense. Why? Because I'm putting on a workshop next week.
Yeah.
Who knew I'd be doing this at 51 years old? Because 20 years ago, I was probably thinking I would be a Ford rep my whole life.
Mhm.
I appreciate all the guidance in the life lessons that career provided me. But I kind of like hanging out in the herbs and the spices and the creation of
Mhm.
life.
Yeah.
I do. I do, I do, I do. So it's, what I think I like about the spark here, and especially between us, is that we may not say it, but we do 1000% value what it took for us to get here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not judging those who do. I mean, share your story if you do. I mean, not everybody does.
Hmm.
I don't think I need to lay my, right? I don't need
Yeah.
to lay that out for the world to accept me who I am today.
Hmm.
Because that acceptance comes from me. So I'm standing in my store alone, creating my little herb corner, I'll call it.
That's awesome.
And then, these two beautiful ladies walk in and they booked my sound bath. Right? They were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, just come in here for a sec. I'll show you my levitating sound bathroom. Oh, I'm like, yeah. When is? I'm like, next week. Okay, we're in. And that was it.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I loved it. I loved it, right? Because what was I?
Yeah.
In the moment, I was standing in my corner, my little herb corner, counting my herbs and spices like old KFC days. Like, fuck, that's funny because I used to manage KFC too. And just loving life, living it light. Just, hey, everybody, this is me.
Yeah.
And now look who I hang around.
Mhm. Yeah, I just met connecting with a new friend,
Oh, wow.
and it was the same thing. It was kind of just like it was just like at ease, and I mean the conversations just flowed and they went where they went, and you shared actually like about your life, and again I got to tell my story, not somebody else telling it for me,
Right.
that they had already heard. So I got to tell my version of my story. And it was just like, oh, so this is what it's like to just let
Right.
somebody hang out, chat, stayed for, several hours. It was just supposed to be a park date, then it turned into coming to our house and
You might as well move in now, right?
well, yeah, hung out until 4 o'clock.
Those are the best. No agenda,
Yeah.
no
Oh,
agenda,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
You said something that spurred a thought in my head. Oh, and I don't want it to run away. The connection between you and this beautiful soul, that's where it's going.
Hmm.
Uh, to be able to honor one another's light in the smallest circle between women is a powerful experience.
Yeah.
And, so your little experience with no agenda, no plan, just kept growing and growing and growing and growing as the day went on,
Hmm. Hmm.
giving you no reason to separate this beautiful connection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I create at the space. That's what I needed to, like, I needed to hear that laid out in a different framework.
Hmm.
Because we mirror each other.
Hmm.
Some kids are like, what is she talking like that for? Because sometimes that 3D version of Rach creeps in is like, doubt. There was no
Yeah.
doubt. There was no doubt in your union with this beautiful soul, hey?
No.
Ah, those are the best.
But that, just, kind of like in this past week, I really have been noticing like my growth and how much I have worked on myself. Because, even kind of looking back like a couple of years, that wouldn't have went in the same way because there would have like I would have been placing an agenda on myself
Yes.
and expectation of how I needed to show
You're
up.
going,
So,
right?
it's just sometimes it's these little moments where it's just like so the unexpected, right? Like, I just thought we're getting together at the park, we're meeting up, kids are going to have a play, we'll chat a little bit, and then again, not having that ended agenda expectation, and then that's just how, like I said, next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock,
Right.
and yeah, again, that wouldn't have been how it was before if I wouldn't have been able to work on myself and see my own value and that there's actually nothing I need to do when I'm hanging out with other people.
Oh, did you hear what you just said out loud? There's nothing
Yeah,
I have to do when I hang out with
yeah,
other people.
yeah.
Hang on.
And like that's I've worked very hard at that.
1,000%. I
Yeah,
can vouch for you all day
you
long.
have.
uh, we're like restoring balance, okay? I said this at meditation last night
Hmm.
to the
Story
class.
balance.
Yeah, I said I'm really paying attention how my legs are moving right now. Like my left knee wants to go in a direction it is not meant to physically go. It's not part of the body's ability. But yet all of a sudden it's going in this direction that I'm not.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, why what unconscious thought might be trying to take me off course so I don't go through that door, right? That's how I look at it. That's how I'm like really paying attention to, because I spend an awful lot of time alone. I do. Like I'm alone quite a bit at night. Like early to bed, early rise. No one else is up at 4 a.m. Well, you are, but you're in a different fucking world. It doesn't count,
Yeah.
right? And and so and it's not that I'm missing when I want connection. It's here. I've got this. I've got other avenues. However, just like that, the left knee. Okay, wanted to just blanket. Don't say anything. Don't change. Don't be curious. Don't bring attention. This
Hmm.
is what it does, right? And so
Right.
I'm really, really paying attention how my body is responding to my curiosity. Because my mind is like, okay, you've done it. You've moved to the front of the building. You've said everything you said you're going to do. It is now May 2025. You are 51 years old. Get the fuck moving. What are you doing? What are you creating? And this is constant. And so I recognize that's a trauma response. You need to slow that roll right down. You need to just let yourself embrace this, because Rach, I have a very powerful way of becoming everything I say I'm going to do. But then when I get it, I don't let myself have it. Right? That's what I'm working on right now. So this left knee wants me to go in a different direction, and I'm saying no, we're right where we need to be, and we need to become restored balance. I may have to do this again next year. Why? Because hello, we're healing, we're evolving, we're moving. That it's the
Yeah.
truth. Whether you are wanting to or not, we are always shifting, constant. I have some beautiful women coming to my space, beautiful souls who are here to create space and allow you to heal. I'm excited. I'm proud of myself. I want to enjoy it. And so this ability to place attention on myself with curiosity, compassion, care, connection, and love. Yeah, I'm working on that. That's my personal mastery right now. Yeah, I have some very, very powerful experiences and connections with women, fostering growth and care. And I'm like, why are you not proud of your age? Even though I know it's your, like all of you, I never, like, it's not me doing the work, ladies. Thank you for being so kind when you say that. But here's the deal. I'm just here making some space for you to see yourself safely in a way that perhaps you weren't able to before. That's all.
Yeah.
And then we have, a little giggle and I'll see you next week. And then I get texts like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, did I? What did I do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful statement.
Mm.
Which is why we went to restore balance for a moment there. There's nothing I have to do. I can just be me. Yeah. I'm gonna grow a herb garden. Might grow some sage.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to get a building put up. Obviously, I don't have the language for that right now. It's a little early. And I'm gonna see. I want to grow, because here's the deal. I don't want to go down this road, and I don't even want to hear one word about it. I'm pissed off about these tariffs, like pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're making it so fucking difficult for small business to even afford to bring in the product they were carrying to open with. Like it's now $150 extra right now for some products to flow through the chain.
Dang. Yeah.
Which, I mean, okay, this is business. But you know what? I can't pass that on to my client in good conscience. Like it's upping some of the product, like some of these pants that I just love. Like an extra $25? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
If you're paying $75 for a pair of, yoga harem meditation pants, like you're almost like you should be. You might then say, okay, well, if these are 75, then I might buy something else instead because it's almost to that product line, like that price level.
Yeah.
And so I'm losing so I either eat that completely, which I'm tired of fucking eating, it, right? Or I find the middle ground here.
Yeah.
So, but then I become that. I feel it coming, that aggressive salesman kind of feel. I don't like that. So it is what it is. That's where I'm at with that. It is what it is. But it's difficult to face that. But here's the thing. I should face that, lean into this challenge with curiosity, as Mr. Lennox tells us today in our energy world. Because there's unexpected changes coming. Oh, I might want to warn you about that. Not that you don't already have a lot on your plate, but our emotional body is very, very activated today. So there's going to be a lot of water. And I know what happens to Rachie with water, because I'm a fire. I'm an Aries, I'm that, that flame flickering in the stove, the propane stove. What are you? What's your sign?
I'm fire as well.
Right? So
I'm in the lantern, though. I'm the flame in the lantern.
Oh, okay. All right. So you get me to go light.
That's where I picture my flame.
And that brings me back to that restore balance. Like I have to learn how to be just that nice simmering flame. I don't have to be doused in my emotions, right? And I don't have to be lighting the forest fires for people to see. I can just be me, right? It leads up right back to the corner in the herb garden. I'm going to have to do this because I've mentioned it now 3 times. Yeah, that'll be exciting. So
cool.
I know. Okay, so now, don't forget it's May 2025. We're learning how to not place that agenda on ourselves, to feel safe in the curiosity of a new moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You writing that down too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Love it. Right? Hmm.
I'm just I'm I'm stuck on the two words, just like restoring balance. 'Cause I'm just like, yeah, that's what I've that's what I've been working on.
Right.
Not even really knowing it, but now having
Nice. Oh, I like
words
that. Yeah.
to place to it. I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Because we need both.
Yeah.
We need both sides of that, masculine, feminine,
Hmm.
Tai Chi. It's the balance. That's actually the
Yeah.
energy, overarching energy of this year with the number 9. And so if we honor the energy as best as we can in the awareness we are in the moment, the breath of that experience, but allow it to guide the 3D, the human that's collapsing around us. That's what it feels like sometimes.
Hmm.
We'll always go in the direction we're meant to. So us humans make it really difficult sometimes,
Yeah, very much so.
right? Life can be so simple if you really care for yourself, it can become it's everyday magic,
Mhm.
right? What'd you do today, Rach? Eh, moved a rock around 4 times. Okay, let's put the rock into context. It's as big as my kitchen fucking table. So moving it is not an easy
Yeah.
feat. Like that's like going to the gym and working out. And okay, this is funny. So I'm looking at it yesterday and I'm like, I can move it myself. I'm like, Rachel, don't do that. You might take out the fucking window. Cause yeah, it's large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So it's interesting
mm,
when you hang out with yourself as much as I do, the bantering back and forth, the negotiation to keep things safe. Yeah, because that rock bent the frame of the hauler.
yeah,
Yeah,
man,
craziness, craziness.
that's so.
I just love the fact that you're willing to see her. Oh, you can just write that. We don't need to talk about that, but we can if you want to. Because, that really takes it close to like a personal session almost, because we've discussed the impact of you being seen, how your
Yeah.
body responds to that feeling inside of yourself.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And look pretty good to me.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to be seen, she said. I just, I wasn't going to tell me yet. Right? Restore balance. Okay,
That's so true.
oh my gosh, smack, smack, smack. I said this to myself, or not to myself last night, at meditation last night. So I got a headache and won't go away. And I'm like, okay, did you read your book? No. I'm like, well, okay, so I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to go get the book, and it's going to say everything I just fucking said. And she's like, I know. And so, of course it did. However,
Hmm.
so this headache, what it represents, what it's doing, it's about the indecisiveness, the inability to choose ourselves, the inability to see ourselves, hear ourselves. Why? Because when we are so stuck in our intellect, ding, 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 I'm pointing at you now, love, right? You're a triple braid. The I am, the crown, the head, seats 4. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It seats 4 of the 5 senses. So what happens when we're so stuck in our head? We have 1 sense left. Now tell me, how's that going? Tell me that's how my dad talks. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Tell me, how's that going? Right?
Yeah.
And she did that too. She was like, oh. I'm like, I have phoned my coach like boiling hot pot mad. like ready to burn my car with the heat coming off my firefly because I am so stuck in my head in the story, right? We're
Yeah.
stuck in the story. We don't have a heart sometimes in that story. How can we? We have to believe the victim statement we're making about ourselves, right?
Hmm.
Not saying that
Hmm.
that's what you did. I'm just, right? So when we think
Yeah.
about our ability now to overcome the biggest, at that point in our journey, I'll give it that challenge. It was challenging for you to let yourself embrace human connection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was delicious.
Hmm.
Okay, so 4 out of those five senses get shut down. What is that called? That's called grief to
Yeah.
me. That leads me right into my grief experience and how do I support those challenges that come up when you are doing everything in your power to honor your loss. Like there's nothing, some points in that journey you don't even want to be in the life, like you're so
Hmm.
focused on your pain and your grief and your 30% of your brain is what's helping you get through some moments of that journey. And if you only have 30% of your cognizant functioning brain, I don't want you making choices in your life. I don't want you even judging the actions and behaviors you're making to make it through the day. So
Mm.
flip this back into a fear of being seen. That's yours, right? I mean, all of
Yeah.
us are going to have some varying degree of something, right?
Hmm.
And it kicks you into, I call it overdrive, because we
Oh,
think,
yeah.
we're fucking running from something that isn't even real, and it's inside of us because it feels so fucking real, because that's where
Hmm.
it is. But how can we, like, we can't go back and change anything. Nothing. I wish I could. Maybe that's why I accidentally filmed my mother the other day. I don't fucking know. I'm still dealing with that on another thread. But I know I have to. It's not even so much about forgiving myself. It's just like, okay, thank yourself. You heard her voice. What did you get from that? Okay, there's another. That's like a 2-hour podcast. um, and maybe that helped me stay out of that box too, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. 4 out of 5. I like that.
Interesting.
There's the title. What's interesting, hun? Say it out loud.
So okay, seats, 4 out of 5 senses.
Yeah.
Um, the amount of stories I would have going on, like, you're kind of talking about that 30%. That's what I would be doing, is creating story after story after story to keep myself hidden, making myself wrong, judging myself. Like that was just constantly what was going on. And if I reflect on the experience I just had, like there was none of that, but it was because I was actually just sharing and like showing up as best as I can as just this is who I am. I wasn't trying to hide parts of my journey.
Why do we
You
feel we
know,
do? Why?
pardon?
Why do we feel we still need to hide parts of that journey? You don't have to answer that,
Oh,
but you can.
yeah, I will. I was gonna say it's just like judging of yourself
Mm-hmm.
or second guessing the some of the choices you have made or why you are where you are today.
Well, we're where we are today because of the foundational imprint, and sometimes that takes a lifetime to,
Yeah.
if you want to.
Hmm.
The expectation you just mentioned is, the agenda, the judgment we unintentionally place upon
Yeah.
ourselves, whether we're conscious to it or not.
Hmm.
That's what I just did to her, my mother, right? I
Mm.
called her. She had no idea it was coming. Fuck, neither did I. And um, I recognized I was placing an expectation on myself, but I needed her to fulfill it.
Mm.
And I set that free with grace and respect. I'm working on my own forgiveness now. And I have completely removed myself from that experience. Blocked phone. All the family is out. Like I can't. what, and I'm still moving through the little tendrils of what's coming out of that experience because, of course, there's parts of me that are still moving unconscious to it. They're like, Bloop, you phoned your mother? Ooh, we'll go around the sun one more time. And I don't know. That's just my language to it. But I actually 1000% believe that I feel safe right now. The safe, and I even said this to my husband. I have never felt this safe in my life, ever. And that's why I also believe, hun, is why I'm paying attention to my left knee. Like last year, I didn't even consider my left knee. It was my fucking right ankle last year.
Right.
Right? And so,
Yeah.
what a beautiful moment to be aware of our own ability to shut it down.
Yeah.
4 out of 5, right? Now you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And now I'm witnessing myself not having to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's safe to say you're hanging out with your new friend again, hey?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember it was you who created that friendship. It wasn't bartered, it wasn't bought and sold because of who our parents are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, like, embrace this feeling of, and let the versions of your younger self join her. Because that's why I think I have a herb garden in the back of my store. Right? Because I love gardening. It's my jam. I don't get to spend as much time in the real earth as I'd like to. And having my own, I call it foresting. I do go out and get some of my own elements to create my spirit jars. Like I'm just coveting this little blanket of moss I found on my land. And I'm like, oh, you're going to come to my store, my beautiful greenery. And I don't suppose everyone in the world would, be aligned with that kind of an experience. And that's okay. And what's great is that we can be kind, but have really clear lines on who we need to be. And that is a learning progress for all of us. Because, in all fairness to our parents, the generational trauma, the level of awareness is, we're really staking it. We're the ones that are saying, I guess this will be the lifetime we do it in. It's got to change. It's got to change. I want my daughter to see herself. I want my granddaughter to just absolutely flourish. Guess I have to do something to do that too, right? In order to create that expansion. Hence why you guys are going on a road trip, doing your thing. Because your family unit is a safe family unit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one was a bit of a eye-opening conversation for us. I know when Katie gets really quiet and she just sits there and nods, which I love.
I got some thinking to do.
That's just how she processes energy. She allows it to sink in, and she always puts her one hand up like that. This is her. Thanks for joining me this morning, Katie. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Take care.